And good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Wednesday Night Dash Series live from the Michigan International Raceway, where qualifying has just wrapped up. Colton Gardner grabbing yet another pole to start us out here on this 2-mile racetrack. Starting this outside is going to be Hunter Hughes in the number 18 machine. Mark Vickers is going to roll off third, followed by Erik Richardson fourth, Brandon Birmingham in fifth, Brian McKinney sixth, Justin Neves seventh, Justin Wexberg eighth, and Caden McAravey Jr. is going to roll off ninth. No Chad Winstead in the booth tonight. He did send me a message earlier. I believe he's at the county fair and not going to be able to get home in time. So it'll just be me in the booth, and we're also missing the league admin DJ Fluck as the pace car pulls down. We certainly miss DJ. And we're ready to get this thing fired up for the House of Hockey Podcast 110 live at Michigan International Speedway. There's the green flag. Pretty clean start thus far. Still Hughes and Gardner side by side into turn number one. Plenty of room to race on this big racetrack. 55 laps is going to be the distance tonight with a halfway mark competition yellow. I think tires is going to be the name of the game as we see a little bit of contact there between Brian McKinney and Brandon Birmingham in the 41 cars. We see Erik Richardson go high in turn 4. Mark Vickers trying to make a move to the bottom as Birmingham's loose in the Jack Daniels machine. Go side by side once again with Brian McKinney as the field kind of starts to space out. It is Hunter Hughes leading the way in the number 18 Twitch machine. Colton Gardner following closely behind in second. Best battle on the racetrack right now is for the number 6 position, Brandon Birmingham. Justin Neves side by side. Two things that go hand in hand together, Jack Daniels and Trojan Magnums. Hopefully if you've had plenty of Jack Daniels, you remember to bring those Trojans along with you. Lap 3 on the board. You see Caden McAravey Jr. trying to take the Iowa Hawkeyes car towards the front. A little bit of a rough start for Justin Wexberg. Not sure if he missed the green or if he just got caught up in something early, but he's 13 seconds off the pace right now, so we'll have to keep an eye on the 72 cars. The battle for the lead starting to heat up once again. Still all Hunter Hughes out front. Mark Vickers and Erik Richardson right now battling for third spot. They're going to go side by side into turn 1 and 2. Brian McKinney making his way back up into the top 5. Battle of the red wheeled cars there for fourth right now. Well, back up front, Colton Gardner is starting to close the gap on Hunter Hughes. Let's go on board with Gardner. Kind of maintaining a little bit more of a higher arc into the corners. Long straightaways on this racetrack. Got the rear from our leader, Hunter Hughes. See all the cars trying to reel him in behind. Looks like Gardner got a pretty good run there off the corner. He's going to shortcut the front stretch. Not quite enough to get side by side, but still just a tenth and a half behind him. Looks like there's a pretty good battle happening right now for 5th between 3 race cars. Brian McKinney, Caden McAravey, and Brandon Birmingham. Well, up front, looked like Gardner got a little bit better run off turn 4. He's going to go side by side. He might have even got him at the line there. This isn't going to allow Hunter Hughes to run his normal line. Gardner gives him plenty of room, though. They're still going to be side by side off the exit. Hunter Hughes grabs the advantage once again. Gardner trying to get a run as they come across the line to complete lap number 8. Definitely wanted to make mention of our sponsor of this race, the House of Hockey podcast. I'm a big hockey fan myself, so shout out to the podcast that's a big sponsor of this race. A little bit more about the race sponsor. Hockey is more than a game. It's a lifestyle that is discussed on the House of Hockey podcast and is hosted by Breezy and Ray Ray. You see the leaders go side by side across the stripe. Who's going to take it here into 1 and 2? Gardner's going to try and complete the pass once again. Hunter Hughes making the top line work. Once again, we see Gardner maybe a little bit loose on the bottom. Hughes still going to hold on to the lead. Anyways, a little bit more about the House of Hockey. Each week, the ladies share their opinions on the NHL as hockey fans, friends, and from the female perspective. The House of Hockey podcast is by fans for the fans. Episodes also include interviews that highlight pro players, members of NHL organizations, the companies that make hockey lifestyle gear, social media hockey influencers, and anyone else that makes this House of Hockey a home. Be sure to subscribe to the House of Hockey podcast wherever you download your favorite podcasts, with new episodes airing every Tuesday. Also, new episodes live streaming on Stadium Scene TV Thursday at 5 p.m. See Gardner trying to make a move once again. And this time he's able to complete the pass on Hunter Hughes, who's now going to try the crossover. Both Gardner and Hughes have been fast all season long and both knocking on the door of a win. We'll see if Hunter Hughes has got anything for Gardner now, or if Gardner's maybe saved the tires a little better through this first run. See the green car in the background there, that's Mark Vickers. He's hanging tough with him, just a second and a half back. Did want to make one more mention, of course, Stadium Scene TV being the, I'd say, primary home of FR Racing and Wednesday Night Dash. House of Hockey is their latest show on Stadium Scene TV, but they'll be launching 3 more shows in the upcoming week, so be sure to keep an eye out for those. Of course, DJ Fluck does a lot of work there with Stadium Scene, and we miss him out there on the racetrack tonight. I feel like this is a racetrack that would serve his driving style pretty well. Michigan tends to spread out pretty quickly and then favor guys that save tires and stay out of trouble. Looking at Mark Vickers in that green machine as we see a side-by-side battle right now between Brian McKinney and Erik Richardson going up the racetrack. So McKinney's back into the top 5. Richardson trying to make a run back at McKinney now. Looked like he maybe got off turn 4 a tick better than the 8 car. And now Caden McAravey Jr. is starting to make his way through the field. He started shotgun on the field tonight. 9th, he's already up to 4th. Best battle on the racetrack still is between the 13 and the 8. Erik Richardson trying to regain that position. Man, the camera's liking to bounce around a lot. We see Wexberg go a lap down. McAravey making a move on Mark Vickers. And then we got side by side right behind him, Brian McKinney and Erik Richardson. I don't want to miss either one of these battles, so we'll jump into the blimp cam. See that top lane, McAravey gives Vickers plenty of room. See the bright green car there of Vickers. And man, they got to be careful getting that close together. They do make a little bit of contact. That's going to send Vickers up the racetrack. He's in the fence. And if I'm Mark Vickers, I'm not going to be too thrilled about that one, especially with some of the connection issues we've seen from the 3 car over the past few weeks, because even him getting as close as he did there with some connection issues could force one of those net code incidents. Looks like Vickers is able to maintain 4th spot for the time being. Still Colton Gardner out front, about a 1.5 second advantage over Hunter Hughes. Colton Gardner now able to stretch the lead out to almost 2 seconds. We're still looking at Mark Vickers, but right now Erik Richardson and Brian McKinney still going at it, and Justin Neves on the move. Good 3-car battle right here. Richardson was able to get back by McKinney. Of course, Erik Richardson picked up that win earlier in the season on the restrictor plate race, that breakthrough win, and has had some tough luck ever since then. Did want to take a peek at the point standings thus far. Actually, I don't see Tyler Vickery out there, so this is going to be a huge opportunity for Caden McAravey, Brian McKinney to make some ground up on Tyler Vickery. Here's your top 3. Colton Gardner, of course, 4th in the number 40 machine. Erik Richardson 5th. Hunter Hughes 6th. Mark Vickers. So a lot of guys missing here tonight. These point standings could be very well shaken up heading into the final couple races with some absences tonight. Definitely something to keep in the back of our mind. The door has swung a little bit open. This points championship battle. Battle right now is for 2nd spot. Hunter Hughes, and now actually Caden McAravey goes around him. So McAravey has driven from 9th to 2nd. All of a sudden, the Iowa Hawkeyes machine, last season's champ, sees the door opening with Vickery out and a fast hot rod tonight. The only thing standing between him and a checkered flag that is thus far is connection issues and the 40 car of Colton Gardner. A little further back, we see Justin Neves get around the 8 car. McKinney starting to fall back all of a sudden. Tires maybe heated up a little too much. Meanwhile, Hunter Hughes trying to make a run back at Caden McAravey, and this battle has kind of brought the 4 car as well as the 13 into the mix for second. Not a whole lot of good camera angles to choose from here in Michigan, so we'll kind of keep it on this TV2 a little bit wider so you can see multiple things happening. Oh, we see Hughes tags the wall. Saw Vickers and Richardson had to react to that. As now they're going to go 3 wide into the corner. Move Erik Richardson all the way up to 3rd. What a move by Erik Richardson. Hughes trying to come back from that wall scrape. Going to get a good draft here off Mark Vickers across the stripe. Definitely the best battle on the racetrack, this kind of 3rd through 6th right now. Vickers trying to make another run after Erik Richardson. See Richardson get a little bit high there off of 4. Meanwhile, side by side behind him is Justin Neves, who's trying to go into the top 5. So the Trojan Magnum machine has slipped its way into the top 5. Really, Justin Neves putting together a nice run here. Battle still raining on between Mark Vickers and Erik Richardson for the final podium spot. They come across the line to complete lap 24. Competition yellow coming. And it is worth noting that Caden McAravey is closing in on Colton Gardner right now. He's about a 2nd and 3/4 behind. And he was about 3/10 quicker last time by. Field going to be grabbing the yellow this time by. Just 1 car a lap down, Justin Wexberg. He's going to get the free pass, so that's good news for him. Everyone's going to get a reset here.
Caution is out.
So there's your competition yellow. Since we didn't get a chance to see this earlier with my computer doing an update, let's take a peek at the statistics on the Michigan International Speedway. It was opened in 1968. It's located in Brooklyn, Michigan. It's a 2-mile track with 18-degree turns. Goes 12 degrees on the tri-oval and 5 degrees on the backstretch. And of course, you know the rules, and we're currently in the competition caution as we see these guys get ready to head down the pit lane. See Gardner getting into the pit box pretty clean there. Hunter Hughes looks like the same. Vickers maybe through his pit box. That might cost him a spot. We'll see who wins the race off pit road here. It looks like Gardner's going to come off first. A nice pit stop for Justin Neves. Interesting as some positions change there. Not Not sure if Neves maybe took 2 tires or if he just entered and exited a little bit better. So it's going to be Gardner, Hughes, and Neves. Not sure what happened to the 3 car of Caden McAravey. He either missed his pit box or something. He's fallen and lost quite a few positions, so he's going to need to be aggressive on this restart. Don't see anybody in driver chat where I could maybe pull them up for an interview. Usually Tyler Vickery's in there, but sometimes Colton Gardner is. I don't see anyone in there. If they were in there, I'd be interviewing them right now as we get ready to go back to green. They're going to double file here. I do want to make a note that the 72 car of Wexberg is back on the lead lap. Still not sure what happened to him, if he maybe missed the start or it was a real early incident. So the field doubled up here, the high banks of Michigan, getting ready to go. I assume about another 25 or so laps. I think it'll be 28 to the finish. So they're going to have to actually conserve tires a little bit more for the finish. Wish there was a spotter stand to give you guys a wide angle of this restart. Pace car's down.
Green, green,
There's
green.
the green flag. Field's gonna smash the loud pedal. Gardner got a great jump. He's gonna lead the field into turn number 1 for the what we'll call second stage of the race. And remember, throughout the first one, it was Hunter Hughes that was kind of strong early on. Gardner taking a couple pass attempts through 1 and 2 to try and get the job done, finally did. See if Hunter Hughes learned his lesson on the tire management. Through 3 and 4, still nose to tail, Colton Gardner, Hunter Hughes, Brian McKinney, and Erik Richardson, your top 4. Entire field single file right now, but Hunter Hughes wanting to make a look. Can't quite do it through turns 1 and 2, and Brian McKinney's right there. We see Birmingham out of shape. He slaps the wall. And Brian McKinney is gaining on both leaders. Now we see Mark Vickers and Erik Richardson side by side right now for 4th. Brandon Birmingham, trying to jump into that battle, and we got another battle heating for the lead as well. These guys have done a great job tonight. We see Birmingham go high and then low. Richardson tries to avoid it. Let's go on board right now with Hunter Hughes. Man, this is turning into a 4-car battle as now Brian McKinney and Mark Vickers have joined the fray. Meanwhile, Birmingham swing it all the way up to the fence. Richardson hangs it low, and they're side by side right now for third. Hughes is all over the rear bumper of Colton Gardner, and here comes Mark Vickers with a rocket run through 3 and 4. These Wednesday Night Dash Series races and these ARCA cars have certainly not disappointed all season long, as we see Hughes wanting to take a look, but at the same time not get into the rear bumper of Gardner. He drifts a little bit high now through 1 and 2, and Mark Vickers and Brian McKinney are still right there. We got 4 cars battling for the lead. Best battle of the 4 cars is still the 18 Hunter Hughes and the 84 Mark Vickers. Mark Vickers has been a runner-up numerous times in this series, still looking for that breakthrough win. We've seen Hunter Hughes be fast all season long and run into tough luck throughout the second half of these races. Brian McKinney's been right on the edge of victory lane, and we've seen Colton Gardner get to victory lane a couple of times, but still had some hard luck this season. Here comes Mark Vickers. He fires that bright green Chevy off into turns 3 and 4. He's going to try and take second right here from Hunter Hughes. Both drivers give each other plenty of room. We're coming to 22 laps to go, so still got to be thinking about tire management despite this intense battle going on in the top 4 right now. Gardner doing what he's got to do. He's got all 3 cars in his rearview mirror, and he's running nice and smooth lines through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 right now. Hunter Hughes right to the back bumper. Takes a peek to the outside, tries to get a run back down to the inside. In fact, does. Vickers had a nice run as well, wasn't sure which way to go. He's got the best view in the house. Let's ride on board with him. And here goes Hunter Hughes trying to complete the pass, but it's going to be the outside line, I believe, carrying the momentum. Exact opposite of what we saw in the first half of this race, where it was Gardner trying to make a pass, but here comes Vickers to the outside of Hughes. Doesn't get more intense or close than this. You're looking at the view that Mark Vickers has right now. And he's got a run on Gardner, but he's got nowhere to go with it. Boxed in. And we are 3 wide for the lead. Hunter Hughes backs out early. Here comes Mark Vickers trying to clear him. And he does. Mark Vickers, what a move in 1 and 2. And put the 84 car to the point. That was one of the most impressive passes we've seen on the Wednesday Night Dash. He gets to the outside of Hunter Hughes, dips low, and shoots the gap through the middle. Tremendous battle continuing, 19 laps to go in this one. It's Mark Vickers out front, Colton Gardner second, Hunter Hughes in third, and Brian McKinney hanging tough in that 8 car in fourth. Gardner got a pretty good run there off turns 3 and 4. Using the draft to suck up to the rear bumper of the 84 car, Mark Vickers. We see Vickers a little bit high, almost out of the racing groove through 1 and 2. That's going to allow a run to the bottom by Colton Gardner. They're side by side down the backstretch, and once again, we've got a battle for the lead in this one. Now Hunter Hughes looking to the inside. Colton Gardner was able to complete the pass, so put him back out front in the 40 car. Looked like Hunter Hughes backed into the turn a little bit early, trying to get the run off. We'll see if he's able to use it down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Oh, he looked like he got to the rear bumper there of Mark Vickers. Fortunately, both drivers able to continue unscathed. Meanwhile, the progress of Caden McAravey Jr. has stalled out. Not sure what happened to the 3 car in the pits, but it has really cost him in this one. Back out front, it's still Gardner. Vickers in second. Hunter Hughes falling back just a little bit now in third, and Brian McKinney still hanging tough at fourth. Mark Vickers trying to reel back in that number 40 car. He's like trying to chase a rabbit right in front of him. The advantage of that second place car is you can see every line the leader takes and try to undercut him or save tires, one or the other. But some folks are better leaders than others, and if you can get out front and just kind of turn off the rear view mirror and just focus on hitting your marks, you can really try to extend things. Coming across the line for 14 laps to go. 14 to go in this one. About a half a second gap right now from Colton Gardner to Mark Vickers. Running 2 different lines through 3 and 4. We see Gardner utilizing that middle to top, and Vickers got a nice run off the corner that time on the bottom. And that time by, Vickers was the faster car by about half a tenth. Actually, Hunter Hughes was faster than both leaders by about a tenth. All running right near 42.2, 42.3. Fastest car on the racetrack, though, was Caden McAravey Jr. in that 3 machine, but he's trapped all the way back in 7th. I don't think he's got enough time to get all the way up there. There's your top 3. It's Gardner, Vickers, and Hughes. Gardner's been the strongest car all race long, except maybe at the tail end of stage 1. I'd say the 3 car of McAravey was the strongest. But I just don't know that he has enough time at this point to get up there. This race is going to come down to these 3 guys. Of course, the French Broad Fire and Rescue, big supporters of Colton Gardner in both this series and the Highline Racing League. Good to see them get some time out front and plenty of TV time as we see the battle for second heating up once again. Vickers falling a little bit off the pace, and Hunter Hughes goes to the inside. Almost had the ability to clear him, but not quite as they head down the backstretch. how hard Hunter Hughes drives it into 3 and 4. Vickers drives it in pretty hard too, but now he's going to hold up and get the run off turn number 4. And this is exactly what the leader, Colton Gardner, wants to see as we come to 10 laps to go. That time by our leader, Gardner, was about half a second faster than this battle going on. So that just goes to show you how when you get into a tight battle with somebody like this, you really can lose a lot of time to the leaders. So now the ball's in Hunter Hughes' court. He's got a 1.5 second gap to try and reel in the lead with 9 laps to go. .8 seconds is now the advantage from Colton Gardner to Hunter Hughes. Both cars were about even last time by, both the leader and Hunter Hughes running a 42.6 as it's now 7 laps to go. 7 to go for Colton Gardner. That time by, Colton Gardner was the fastest car on the racetrack. Ran a 42.4, about a 1.5 tenths faster than Hunter Hughes. And honestly, Mark Vickers, I thought was starting to gain on Hunter Hughes, but I'm not sure he didn't get the exit he wanted there in turn 2. Still all Colton Gardner out front. He's been the star of the show. Sat on the pole. Has had a lot of hard luck this season. Taken out in a few different crashes through no fault of his own. I think at this point, if he just hits his marks, he's going to be in really, really good shape. Five laps to go. He ran a 42.731 and second run a 42.730. Doesn't get much closer than that. Go to the blimp cam to try and give you a better angle of just how far the lead is. There's Hunter Hughes just starting to sneak into the picture, so I know Hunter's kind of probably trying to throw just about everything he's got at it right now, but barring a mistake, Colton Gardner might be parking that Chevy Impala in victory lane. 4 laps to go. Well, a little bit further back, Justin Neves has actually moved for a second there. He was into third. He's got a good battle going with Mark Vickers. So the 2 cars in the 80s going at it. Side by side down the backstretch. Here comes Justin Neves. Really a nice run by the 82 car tonight. See him drive it hard into 3 and 4, slip up the racetrack just a little bit, but plenty of room here to hang on to it. I think he's going to have that final podium spot here with just 3 laps to go. 2 seconds is the gap between Colton Gardner and Hunter Hughes. Colton Gardner, he's been a part of this series since, I believe, dating back to the tail end of season 2. Showed speed right away and was contending for wins all throughout last season. I think he went to victory lane 2 or 3 times last season. I'm not sure if he's been able to break through yet here in the ARCA car or not. But he's had the speed to do it many of these weeks, as he's going to come across the stripe to take the white flag. 1 more lap to go for our pole sitter tonight, Colton Gardner. You know, the fire and rescue squad's rooting him on as he comes across the backstretch and into 3 and 4 for the final time. So tonight it's all about Colton Gardner, a dominating performance, and he's going to send the French Broad Fire and Rescue team to victory lane. Colton Gardner wins it here in Michigan.
Good job, Gardner.
Thank you, Hunter. That was a lot of fun. Good race.
I have no idea how you were able to save your tires so well.
I don't know either, to be honest. That was such a mind game just with the car and the track.
So a tremendous battle throughout that race. As we see, Hunter Hughes going to bring it home second. Nice run for the 18 car. He needed a good finish to cap off all the speed he's had this season. Justin Neves, a career night, finishes 3rd. Good to see some of those guys rebound and have a good night. As now it looks like Colton Gardner's going to burn it down. See if he pops into chat, but while we wait for him, let's roll through the rest of the results. Mark Vickers brings it home 4th. Erik Richardson rounds out the top 5. Caden McAravey Jr. finishes 6th. Brian McKinney faded back to 7th. Brandon Birmingham ended up 8th, with Justin Wexberg out of the race, 27 laps down in 9th. And actually, we've got Colton in the booth. Colton, just talk to us about the dominating performance you had out there tonight at Michigan.
Well, that was a lot of fun for one thing. This track was a real big challenge tonight. That first run, I felt like I overcooked it too much there at the end, and I was worried about Caden driving through the field in the second half of it. But the second half, I just tried to save my tires as best I could to have a shot at the end, and I was able to save them and still keep a gap on everybody. But that was a lot of fun. It was a real good test of man and machine and trying to figure out what the track does because it was a cheese grater.
Yeah, it looked like maybe you guys were running on the Legacy Michigan track tonight, which does actually wear the tires quite a bit more than the new one. Talk to us about the battle you had there with Mark Vickers and Hunter Hughes all at the same time. We saw Vickers shoot the gap in a three-wide battle, and you were able to hang tight, maintain your composure, save those tires, and sneak by him again.
Yeah, I was surprised whenever Mark shot the gap between us, and I was just like, oh, I got one on my inside, so I just did the smart thing and I got out of it a little bit, let him go by because I know I would have another chance as long as I kept the car under me. Um, but Hunter, he was awesome tonight. That was a lot of fun to race him, and Mark did a great job as well.
Yeah, it was a nice clean race from just about everybody out there. You guys go, I think, to the Iowa Speedway next week. What are your thoughts on Iowa?
Um, in this car, I don't have a whole lot of experience in it. Um, the trucks, I have quite a few races on it, but this car, it's been a learning process pretty much the whole season. I don't really just getting a hang of the downforce difference because this is not got as much downforce or side force as the trucks, and it wears the tires a little bit more on some tracks. But the car is a lot of fun. I like being challenged.
Well, before we let you scoot on out of here, you got anybody you want to thank? I know the folks on the front and the side of that race car have been big supporters.
Yeah, I want to thank French Broad Fire and Rescue, and I want to thank Carolina Legion for their support this season. It's been awesome, and having them on board all year and even last season. Um, I want to thank my mom and dad for watching my races and supporting me. I want to thank all my friends and my family, everybody that supports me. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here really.
Well, that's the words of your winner here tonight, Colton Gardner. He dominates the Michigan International Raceway here tonight. We head to Iowa Speedway next, and we'll see if Tyler Vickery was able to manage this off week that he had. I'm sure something probably came up, but it's going to close up the points gap for sure. We'll be here next Wednesday for the Wednesday Night Dash Series. For Kendall Kerr and everybody involved that puts this show on, we'll see you next week.